This morning, we have for our tribe talk, Katherine, who's going to join us. If you don't know Katherine, she's usually back there. So Katherine knows the drill. She knows that she'll only have 3 minutes to share, and she has notes. Notes scare me, but I like that. Because I have to admit, I have to apologize to Katherine first and foremost, because the book of scripture that we're reading in right now is the book of Ecclesiastes. Anybody know anything about the book of Ecclesiastes? All you need to know is that one time I spoke to our youth group and I made them promise me that they wouldn't read it on their own. Okay? Because the book of Ecclesiastes can be a bit depressing, to say the least, but we're going to see what Katherine has to say about it. You ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready with the countdown? Here we go.
All right, the book of Ecclesiastes. Meaningless, meaningless, meaningless. Everything is meaningless. At least that's how it starts. I know when Ryan asked me, I was like, what a sobering book to have to talk about. But anyway, I'm going to read my notes so I can get through this in 3 minutes. Yet it's probably the most common human struggle to find the meaning and the significance in this life. Here we see the struggle of things that we pour our lives into that can be vain. Knowledge, running after things just to know, our jobs, our work, our careers, gaining possession, philosophy, and just the pursuit of riches and pleasure. But in the end, our search to know the meaning of life often takes us winding up and down paths filled with moments of satisfaction just for a moment, only to come to an end. But as we read further on in the book, we'll also see that there are struggles with injustices. How many things do we see in this world that just don't seem right? It's not fair. Why do good things or bad things happen to good people? Why do good things happen to those who are evil? In our eyes, we want to see justice immediately given to those who've done wrong, and for those who deserve better than they've received. Life will continue to be meaningless without the revelation of the cross and God's intervention in our lives. In Hebrews, it says that God is the judge of all men. I've come to understand, and still God brings revelation of the cross. And forgive me, I hope I keep myself together. It is the cross that is God's justice in action. God's standards have never changed. His holiness demands 100% of pureness. And God he even lives up to his standards. In the readings from the very beginning, I've seen this, and I'm sure we've all seen the common thread of God's desire to redeem mankind. Every single sacrifice was to atone for or to cover our sin. That is why we see the sacrifice of all the lambs that were pure and spotless, 100% pure, to bring forgiveness and to cover their sins and to make man pure and holy again. You will see it was God who is the only one who could pay the price for sin, but only man could die. What God's holiness demanded, his love provided. That is why Jesus, who is fully God and fully man, born of a virgin, came to die in my place and your place as the 100% pure sacrifice. Romans 3:25 says, "For God presented Jesus as the sacrifice for sin." People are made right with God when they believe that Jesus sacrificed his life, shedding his blood. This sacrifice shows that God was being fair when he held back and did not punish those who sinned in times past, for he was looking ahead and including them in what he would do in the present time. God did this to demonstrate his righteousness, for he himself is fair and just, and he makes sinners right in his sight when they believe in Jesus. In conclusion, the story is, here is my final conclusion. Fear God and obey his commandments, for this is everyone's duty. God will judge us for everything we do, including every secret thing, whether good or bad. Psalms 119:1 says, "Blessed are those whose ways are blameless, who walk in the Lord's instruction." Life isn't fair, but God is. He is holy. He is just. One day, we will be judged for our actions.
Okay, that means you can find Katherine afterwards and continue to ask her about it. Can we give her a hand for taking on Ecclesiastes for us? See, the nice thing about being in my position is I get to pick which book I do for Tribe Talk, which I already did, and get to give Ecclesiastes to somebody who can tackle it a little better than me. Thank you so much, Katherine. Yeah, meaningless, meaningless, right? It's the refrain you hear from the teacher all throughout Ecclesiastes, and ultimately the meaning that we're all looking for, which the teacher himself struggled to find, and all the things that he chose to pursue and try to find meaning in life. Ultimately, we know that what he was looking for was that connection with God that we now all have access to because of Christ. What an incredible, incredible thing.